1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me? All right, cool, sweet. And then I'm guessing everybody's seeing my screen as well? The big Apex logo on there? All right. Hope everybody's doing great. Dan, that was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I love Nadex, okay? I'm a trader, and I found out about Nadex quite a while ago, well over a year ago, and I just literally got into it. And basically I got into it because it completely changed how I trade. I've been trading for over 10 years. I've traded everything you can think of, and in some ways it's sort of funny, and it can make trading boring because you completely know what your risk is, and you're not freaking out about getting stopped out. I mean, think about it as a trader. What happens to you, okay? You get in a trade, you put in a stop, the second it starts ticking against you, your heart rate goes up, and you start processing decisions. Do I move my stop? Well, you know you're not supposed to do that, but do I move my stop? Well, okay, I don't move my stop. Okay, well, what if my stop gets hit? Do I get back in? Do I go the other direction? Do I sit on the sideline? So if you get back in, you get stopped out again, right? If you go the other direction, then it goes in the original direction you were trying to trade to begin with. And then if you sit on the sidelines, that's when it just takes off, and you could have made a fortune that day, but you didn't make anything because you were just beat down because of taking losses. And all of that goes away when you trade Nadex. You don't have that coming against you, and so that way you're able to actually go in there and trade without that fear. And so I guess that's why I love Nadex, because now it comes down to profit management. That's what I'm going to focus mostly on today. There's obviously a short amount of time, and so I'm going to go in here and go through a few different things with you. But and I'm going to show you where to get a lot more education as well. So, I know a lot of this is new to a bunch of you, and so it can sort of go, a little bit fast. I'm actually the one that came up with the what I call the ultimate hedge strategy. And I designed that a while back and went through it and put it together. And I formatted the entire thing. And so that way you can, I'll teach you more about that. I'll show you where to get more access on that, all this. And I'm talking about for free, okay? So just a ton of free education. All right, so we got disclosures, whatever. Read them. You know how they work. We had the big one at the beginning. And then, of course, I got to put this one up. But again, you can't lose more than you put up when you trade Nadex, which is pretty cool. All right, so this is a really quick bio on me, and then I'll move on past that and keep on going. So what we got is basically here at Apex, there's a few of us, and we're all traders committed to helping other traders. So one guy's runs a fund, a CTA fund. Another guy, he's Series 7 licensed, all that stuff. He used to work for a prop firm. Another guy's a professional. He's a professional stock trader. And I started off in options. I then got into Forex. I then focused on futures, and now sort of ended up in Nadex as a summary of all of them. And that's sort of been my journey. And I'm in the United States. I'm in Texas. We started this back in 1999, and really we now specialize on binaries and Nadex spread products, just because to me it's the best way to trade. And so many traders, the number one rule in trading is survival. Okay, that is literally your number one rule in trading. And Nadex helps you survive because you're not ever going to blow out your account. And I trade binaries and I trade spreads, both. And if you hop on, I'll show you where to get access to, I trade live every week. You can hop on, you can watch. And, we do a lot of free webinars all the time where I'm trading. So I'll show you, and you can see that. I'm right here in Fort Worth, Texas. And binaries are a very simple, cool product. I'll show you a place to get some more information about them too. You got to trade them right though. If you trade them wrong, you're gonna burn your account in like 15 minutes. Okay, you got to trade them right. So I'll show you more about that. And so we have like a Nadex focused trading forum where you can ask unlimited questions about Nadex. Okay. In fact, I wish more people would use the forum. It's amazing. We haven't had it up there that long, and we're starting to get some more traction on it. But if you have all these questions about these spreads and these binaries, and you're just trying to figure things out, you can literally ask unlimited questions. I check the forum every day and post replies. And I mean, you can even put like charts in there, screenshots, whatever, and I'll reply back. Okay. We have over 30 hours of training videos. We have, like I said, weekly webinars that we do. I have what's called implied deviation levels, which are awesome. And I'm just saying that because I mean they're insanely accurate. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today. Because one thing with Nadex, really with any market and trading, Nadex helps you with the risk, but you have to manage your profit. And so it's about how to manage your profit. And then going on in and looking at, we have some unique indicators, some strategies, some unique bar types, so you don't just have to use time frame bars when you're trading. And we have resources for that as well. We have a scanning tool for Nadex. Actually goes in and scans all the Nadex spreads because there can be 13 spreads open at one time, and you're like, okay, I want to buy the S&P or I want to buy the euro dollar. Well, by the time you figure out which spread you want, the trade's over. Okay, and that was the problem I had as a trader trading Nadex, and that's sort of where the scanner came from. I started off with like an Excel sheet, and then I built it further, and then I hired a bunch of programmers, and then I built a live fixed data feed from the Nadex exchange into my server, and so now you can actually go in about like literally a few seconds, you can know the right spread for your trade. Okay, and we have that in there. You can check that out. That'll actually start up tomorrow night. It'll be feeding in from the Nadex exchange. And we also have educational trade signals. And we got basically they're really mainly on binaries, and they've done really, really well. So over 80% so far. Disclaimers, all that, whatever. But in the last few months on binaries. And also I have a radio show that I do every single day from 12 to 1 Central, 1 to 2 Eastern Time live. And I also do another show like 9 to 10 on Fridays called the Bull Bear Binary Hour. And they're broadcast all over the world. So wherever you're at, you can listen in. And I'll show you the link for that real quick. Here, you can go over here. It's actually right inside of our website. I build everything in, try to make everything inside the website that I can to make it easy. But right here under tutorials, you'll see TFNN radio. And so you can go on here and you can actually watch live. And you can even call in and ask questions. And I'll pull up my charts and everything. It's pretty cool. But you have access to that. And I'm focused a lot on Nadex. So if you have questions about it, then you can hop on the show. And so that's every day 12 to 1. I'm talking about seasonality. I'm talking about deviations. I'm talking about fundamental government news announcements for the day. So there's a lot of good stuff. And, sort of how I'm looking at the market. But anyway, so that's a little bit about me. And quick summary is if you want to get access to this, go to apexinvesting.com/tradingpub. Okay, so as soon as you do that, go to apexinvesting.com/tradingpub. Right there. And not doing the sales pitch, this is just free. All right. As soon as you go there, click on Get Free Access. Oh, is it not showing the? Yeah, it is. Okay, it's showing it on there. Make sure you're on the desktop sharing screen, okay? So that way you can see everything. But click on Get Free Access. You'll be able to log in right away and see all the fun stuff on here. We have the signals. Like I said, they've done really well. And so I go through and actually give all the information on those and the breakdown and the win-loss rates, everything, trade by trade. We do gap fill trades and how to do gap fill trades and on Nadex and using Nadex products. We also have the deviation levels, and we have, like I said, unique bar types. There's more than I can go into, but there's a lot here and a lot of free stuff. The biggest thing that you're probably going to want is these tutorials right away. So you can get in here, and there's a whole section on getting started with Nadex, how to use their platform, step-by-step how the spread works, how the hedge strategy works. And these are like 10, 15-minute videos where I break it down. Binaries and, some other stuff as well. So I just wanted to go through that so that way everybody knows, sort of what's there so they can take advantage of it. And, because I know you're going to have more questions. So definitely sign up. It's free. No credit card, nothing like that. And I do a lot of education. Of course, I have other tools and all that, but, primary thing is you got to get going on Nadex. And if you're doing well on Nadex, you're going to be interested in the other stuff. If you're not, then you're not. So my job is to make sure that you are and to help you out while I'm trading myself. Let's see here. So let's check out what else we got. Yeah, definitely check out the IG index if you are outside the U.S., but you're not going to get access to the spreads, but you will have access to the binaries. So, and it's only $100 to open an account. For IG, I don't know what the minimum is. I got to check on that. Anyways, all right, so moving on forward, again, apexinvesting.com/tradingpub. I'm going to do this part a little bit fast so I can focus on how to take profit, setting profit targets for futures, forex, and Nadex, okay? And so, just a quick summary. This is an example of, like, if you're doing a pound-dollar trade and you're going in and you're like, hey, you know what, I see a little trend line here. I'm going to do a little bounce, and I'm going to go short on the market. With that take profit, write it down here, and probably put a stop loss right up at this point. Not an uncommon trade, for a trader to do. And so they look at that and they're like, yeah, I definitely need to probably put a few ticks higher so I don't get stopped out. And we already, have felt that pain, right? So everybody's seen it where it's went up. And this is horrible when you get kicked out. But what's even worse is when you get kicked out and boom, you're able to take, then it goes in your direction. So that's painful. To me, that's more painful because it messes with you psychologically. If you get kicked out and the thing keeps going, then you get to reward yourself. You're like, oh, I did a good job. I took my stop. But if you get kicked out with your stop and then it goes in your direction, and it moves on down, then that way you're able to actually take profit. So trading with Nadex, yeah, you're going to go directly to Nadex. Apex, we're just educators, and traders. That's what Apex is. But yeah, I mean that's the most painful thing that's going to happen is when it goes back, because like I said, it'll mess with you psychologically. If you trade with Nadex, this will never happen to you again. Okay, so and I got to call it the whipsaw elimination strategy, and there's a bunch of videos on that. And Dan really did a good job on the Nadex spreads, and some people may have some more questions about that, so I'm not going to go into a lot of it. But basically, it's on the spreads, none of them are going to go up or down. This is just like if you're buying. They are options, but think of them more like trading the underlying market, but with completely capped risk. So you get all the leverage to the upside. And I mean, I was looking at a trade yesterday where I was looking at putting up $100 on 5 contracts total. Okay, $100, and that was on the S&P 500. Well, that's a $70,000 leverage trade that I'm only using $100 to do. Okay, my margin and my risk are always the same, and I can't lose more than $100 on the trade. I went short close to the end of the market yesterday. Market was going up, went short, boom, came back down, made a little bit of money on it. And it's a trade that I probably never would have done just on an outright S&P futures because I'd expect to get stopped out. And it did. It went up against me, and then it came on back. And I think I may have even talked about that one. I may have talked about that one on the radio show because I did 3 hours yesterday. It was a crazy day. I was filling in for a couple of people. And but basically buy and sell, but not worrying about all the Greeks, okay? And you have to worry about how much time is there till expiration, but you're not thinking about theta. You're not thinking about how many, every minute I'm making, or losing this money, that type of thing. You're not having to worry so much about all the other stuff. I mean, as soon as it gets in the money, so like the strike and all that, it's where the underlying and the spread come together, then it's traveling more to delta of 1-to-1. And I make it a lot easier. My goal is I think Nadex is the best way to trade. I want to make it an easier way to trade for you. And so if you buy them, you're bullish. If you sell them, you're bearish. And Dan already went to what a spread is. So you got the spreads here, and you got the floor and the ceiling. If you don't know this, 1.2 thousand to 1.2500. Okay, that's a spread. The difference between them is a spread. Hence the term spread. Okay, and so if you go in there, you subtract them, you have 500 pips. All right. So if you're a forex trader at all, that makes sense to you. This is another thing. All the instruments on Nadex move in a pip or tick, and they always move in increments of 1. Okay, so like 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. So you don't have to worry about like quarters and eighth of a cent and stuff like that, which is nice. Everything moves in a 1. Even on the S&P, it's pretty cool. They trade like the full size S&P, the spoofs. They trade in 0.1. So at the US 500 goes 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So it's actually tighter than the S&P E-mini futures that tick in quarters. So that's actually one of the reasons it's my favorite spread on there because it ticks so tight. It ticks in 0.1. So it actually will move a few ticks while the futures just move 1. Anyways, and then another thing is, here's something that's really important. Okay, this will make this really easy for you. All of this, okay, all of their spreads, every single tick is always worth $1. Okay, every pip is worth $1. It doesn't matter if you're trading the DAX, if you're trading the FTSE, if you're trading the Nikkei, if you're trading the Euro Yen, if you're trading corn, if you're whatever you're trading, okay? If you're trading S&P, soybeans, oil, natural gas, whatever, it's always $1. So you don't have to memorize all these different values for all these different ticks, which can get really confusing when you're trading forex pairs that aren't based in dollars, or can get really confusing when you're going from oil to Russell to corn to soybeans to silver. There's all these different things you're trying to figure out and what equals what. And yeah, Nadex you can see level 2 and 3. And then let's see here. Let's see. So okay, so the spread's value 500 pips, $1 pip. It's a $500 spread. You can't lose money above it if you go short. Okay, you can't make money below it. Now that's where the ultimate hedge strategy comes in. It's like the ultimate box. Okay, because it opens up the box. You have unlimited profitability with capped risk. And I'm not going to go too much into that because I have videos on the website on that for free, okay? And the scanner actually does all the analysis on how far to break even, what your risk is, how many spreads to hedge with. Because like on Eurodollar, it's 1, but on S&P, it's 5. So you have to know how many spreads to hedge with to do it correctly. And I go into all that on the website. But if you go in here, if I'm selling at $24.90, that's a 10 pip risk. Therefore, it's a $10 risk. Okay? Why is it 10 pips? Well, it's 2,500 that's selling minus $24.90. I can't lose money above the floor. Okay? And they use Reuters. And then when it goes down, I can't make money below the floor. Okay? So I can't lose money above the ceiling. So I can't lose money below the floor. So my risk is always going to be, if I'm selling, the difference where I sell and the ceiling. That will always be my risk. And since that difference is 10 pips, that is my risk. So therefore, my profit is going to be the difference between where I sold and then my profit potential, all right, and where the floor is. Now, obviously, I don't expect to make 490 pips in a day on the euro dollar, but this is just, an example. Obviously, just looking at the price, you can tell it's an example based on the euro lately. Anyway, so $490 is my profit potential, okay? And by the way, $1 is like doing 1 mini lot, 10,000 units of currency, okay? And then if you're buying the spread, it's just the reverse, okay? You can't make money above the ceiling unless you're doing the ultimate hedge. You can't make money below the floor, you can't lose money below the floor. So if I buy it at 10 pips above the floor, what is my risk? Okay, $10. So 2410 minus 2,000 right there. Oh, sorry. If I bought it at 2010, I'm sorry, there's a typo. But if I bought it there, what would be my risk? So if you go in there and you're calculating that out, trying to figure that out, and I'll even make it easy. I'll fix it on the screen live. There we go. And so that way I can't lose any more than 10 pips because there's 10 pips of risk. 10 pips equals $10 risk. And Dan mentioned this. They start new spreads every couple hours. So there's always spreads, like where you want one. And I even have a video up that's actually how to make your own spread. How you can combine two spreads together to design your own strike. So you can find one. You can basically make one where you want it. Anyways, but so profit difference, $490 profit potential. Big thing. You can get in and out whenever you want to. All right. In fact, I recommend you do that. Yes, you can put Nadex on and you can walk away. You should always set a profit target. Okay. I think they're out of all the trades I placed this week, I did some pretty nice trades this week. 2 trades. Now, there wasn't a lot of risk in them. Okay, there's $5 on one, $25 on the other. I didn't set a profit target on. I was completely pissed off. Why? Well, because one went from 5 to 20. All right, so 400% return. The other one went from 25 to 75. And, 200% return. And I didn't take advantage of the profit. So, because I didn't have my take profit order in. So always have a take profit order in so that money doesn't go away. And let's see here. So, we don't decide the floor or ceiling. Okay, that's one of the things that's actually sort of nice. It's not like you go in and there's 1,000 options. All right, the floor and ceiling is always set. And what they do is they go in and let's see here. I may even have see if I got it up here. What they do is they go in and they actually set the floor and ceiling at it. So let's say it's 500 pips or 100 pips or whatever on it, and we go in there and there we go. If it's 500 pips wide for the floor or the ceiling, then let's say the market opens at 1.2. All right, then they're going to go in and they're going to put a 1.2 to 1.250. Okay, so 500 pips above where the market is, where the spread starts trading. Then they're going to put one from 1.2 down to 1.5, 500 pips below where the market started trading. Okay, and then they're going to straddle it. Okay, so they're going to straddle between 1.750 and then 1.2250. So basically, they'll straddle it around the market. Basically, they set the spreads are always the exact same. And I actually have a video on this as well. And they set them based on where the market's at, basically about 15 minutes before that spread starts trading. So, and then let's see here. And then to compare the two, if you put the FX trader, okay, next to, okay, so that person went in and they actually lost $650 on the trade, put up $3,000. But then you compare them to the box spread trader, okay, exact same trade, exact same analysis, doing the exact same thing the other guy's doing, sitting side by side. This guy only risked $350, or this girl only risked $350, right? And margin $350 versus a few grand. And trade goes up, but guess what? Not stopped out. Trade goes back down. Make money. All right. So if you put them side by side, the FX trader risked $650. The Nadex spread trader only risked $350. The FX trader lost $3,000. The Nadex spread trader made 350 or made $760. So I'm sorry. So the FX trader risked 650, and the Nadex spread trader risked 350, using $3,000 versus 350. So obviously a much better risk reward. And then the loss, the FX trader lost 650, and the Nadex spread trader made 760. Exact same trade, exact same analysis, exact same underlying instrument. The only difference is what vehicle they used to use their money with to take advantage of the movement in that instrument. So I mean, it's that to me, that's enough when you see that, and we make this, like I said, a lot easier. Price is driven by the underlying market. I'm not going to go into who Nadex is. I posted these earlier up in the chat area, but we also have them on our website, all the different markets that Nadex trades. Okay, and they have a lot of markets. Now, what I want to do is go ahead and focus real quick on, and this is pretty short. It's pretty simple. But the setting profit targets for binaries, for bull spreads, and then the strategy steps for using them, okay? And one of the things that I tell people, trading is something I was taught, is like whitewater rafting, okay? And you can choose when and where you get in, all right? But you do not get to choose when and where you get out, all right? And so again, you can choose when and where you get in, but not choose when and where you get out. So you don't know where, now you can decide to get out now, but I mean, not necessarily where you want to get out, okay? And so if you're whitewater rafting, all right, if you've been out there, been in the rapids, you're going in and you have to look ahead and make your plan on how you're going to get out. You can't go, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the right now and get out. There's no way, okay? You can't steer a raft right in the middle of moving water. The market is always moving. You have to have a plan ahead of time. The number one thing, okay, that I see traders do when they blow their accounts out or, whatever, they just don't have a good plan. The number one thing I see traders do on Nadex is they don't have a take profit plan. Okay, they're like, man, I have limited risk. I'm only risking $5. This sounds great. But they have no idea on how far they expect the market to move, if that's even a realistic trade. And it's probably the first thing that they do. And you go in there, and so you have to have an exit strategy, okay? You have to have an exit strategy. It cannot be hold it till expiration and see how it works out. If you do that and you're making money, then props to you. But I don't know anybody who is. I know people who go in and they get out before expiration. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have trades that aren't going to be profitable at expiration, but I'm saying it's not a bad thing to have a take profit goal, a take profit order sit in there, because there's nothing like it went up and it made 300, you didn't have a take profit in, and then it comes all the way back down and you lose everything. So have a take profit order in, okay? And so you have the managed risk already with Nadex. How do you manage your profit? Because just because you manage risk doesn't mean you don't have losing trades, right? Well, just because you're right about direction doesn't mean you're going to have a winning or a profitable trade if you don't manage your profit. And so there's different things you can look at and things you need to consider when you're setting profit targets on spreads or binaries. Price levels, so key price levels, open of the day, close of yesterday, high and low of overnight session, high and low of yesterday. Those are some of the key price level, okay? And we go over this on our website as well. Expected moves, and this is something I probably said this is the number one thing missing from most traders' arsenal, and that's statistics. So my show is called the Diagnostic Trading Hour, and I talk about fundamentals, that's economic reports, whatever, seasonals, so the seasonal trends and tendencies in the market. I go into technicals. Okay, traders are all over that. A lot of them are all over seasonals, which are really good. You have to have all of these, okay? But you're also going to have statistics, okay? And by statistics, I don't mean like historical seasonality, which I think is huge. I think we have somebody talking about that today, and it's massive. You've got to know it. But also you got to have statistical deviation. How far does the market expect the market to move today? And I mean, that's just massive. It's not about, I don't like standard deviations. They're based on past numbers, okay? It's okay for longer term trading, whatever, but for 5-day, 1-day trading, doesn't work real well. I haven't seen it work great for me. But what I did do is I went in, and there's actually something I learned from a floor trader. He used to trade on the CBOE floor, and he taught me, and it's basically how to figure it out for a short time frame. And so I actually go in now, and I built a tool that pulls all, basically takes 4 months options. It takes 4 options out of each month, takes those 16 options, averages them, gets a volatility, basically implied volatility, and I factor that into a short-term deviation formula, and it tells me how far the market, because implied volatility is literally the price of the option showing the expectation of movement by all market participants. So this isn't like one guy's opinion on CNBC or whatever. This is all market participants' expectations built into the pricing of the underlying market's options. Okay? So you don't have to do any of that math. All right? Just go in there, and we've done it all for you. Okay? It's a long, complicated formula. Okay? And you can go in there and we add the levels. So we show you exactly how far. And I mean, it's uncannily accurate. You can go back and you can look at the last few months' history and just check it out. And you can see literally, like just look at Friday, how on par was it? I mean, it just nails the price levels. And so like here's an example. This is from a couple weeks back. I can pull up a more current example for you. But let's see here. Yeah, that's from like August. So here's that's the signal page. Where is it at? There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Tutorials, webinar, deviations. All right. So there's Friday. So yeah, you can go in there. Like we literally have all the price levels and the high and the low and a half deviation. And what I teach on this, and I have a couple videos on there, but these price levels are not just some algorithm based on past movement. They are market expectations. It's free. Hop on the website and grab it. And so you can get in there. It was actually featured in Futures Magazine this month. So I was in Futures Magazine for Nadex. Somebody called me up. They interviewed me, and they're like, hey, check this out. And so you go in there, and at the half deviation, you want to go in and you want to actually place a trade, okay? Or, tighten a stop. So if you're in and it's moving up, you may want either reverse or tighten a stop. So let's say we're going long. I would like to see that there's at least a half deviation level before I get into a trade, because I don't want to have a trade where I don't think I can make anything on the trade. Like if I'm already up here at one deviation and I go long, I'm probably going to lose. Okay? Why? Well, let's look over here at the deviation levels. It sort of talks a little bit about it here at the bottom. It goes into at one deviation, there's basically only a 30% chance the market's going to move past one deviation. So I should never have a trade where my expectation is that it's going to move past this one deviation level. So, one of the traders earlier was talking about move to break even. Okay? Well, on move to break even, well, what if that's 4 points away, okay, and the deviation level is only 2 points away? Well, I probably shouldn't take a long trade at that point. I won't take a trade. Even if my system gives me a trade, I won't take the trade because it's already got to that level. All right? And so this is huge. What happens is you're going long and you're tightening your stops. And let's see, let's see if I have my Russell numbers in here still. Check it out and I'll tell you. Yeah, I didn't know they'd be in there. That's sort of weird. Anyway, but I plot the numbers on the chart. There's different ways to plot them on the chart. We're actually working on a feed right now for NinjaTrader to go directly into it and plot them for you. But when it gets to a half deviation, you tighten the stop. When it gets to 0.7, you tighten it again. When it gets to 1, you tighten it again. And it's insanely accurate. And all I gotta say is, seeing is believing. Hop on there, check it out, and you'll see it. But you go in here and we go on, and let's say okay, here's the Russell. So it said, okay, the market should move first down to 810.5. Well, if we go in here and I prop that price level, there we go. I'll pull it right up. 810.5. And we'll put these up in the trading room too on Monday. It'll be fun. 810.5, and then look at that, boom, bouncing right off of it. Okay, these are posted the night before, by the way. So these are posted on Thursday night, and then it said on down to 808.5. So let's see, where's 808.5? All right, and then this is what it is. And then it says now the furthest move you should expect is down to about 805.5. It should pull back if it hits that level. Okay, well here's 805.5. There you go. And then let it pull all the way back up. So you can see how if you were tightening stops as it's moving down to these levels, that can be very, very helpful for you. But also, let's say you're buying out of the money strikes on binaries. Well, now you have a tool that helps you figure out what strike to pick. And then, by the way, get out when it gets there. Okay? So if I sell a strike and I can sell it for 20 bucks and it gets down to that price level, then I want to buy it back. And by the way, a binary is always going to be worth 50 bucks when it's at the money. Okay, give or take the bid-ask spread. If I'm doing a gap fill trade, okay, well, I have the gap fills. That's the same thing. Take a profit. And like that's one of the things I think we announced the other day when we were, let's see here. Yeah, we got in like, gap fill trade, TF, NQ, ES, close the gap fill trade right now. And then we have Dow, Wall Street 30 gap filled, close that trade now. So, and you've got to have a profit target. You got to know when you're closing your trade, where you're closing your trade. Okay. This is a spread scanner. This is just a quick screenshot of it for you. You can go in and it'll actually show you, and this is like there's a little help desk tool built in there. But it'll show you how long until expiration. Okay. It'll also show you break-even distance. Like this trade has to move 4 pips. This trade has to move 9 pips to be at break-even. It'll show you the risk, the reward, the risk-reward ratio. You can also hit buy or sell. It'll actually open the ticket in Nadex for you, so you don't have to go hunting inside Nadex to find it. Like I said, I built this for my own trading. And then, here's an example right here of 2 spreads that you're choosing from. One has 61 minutes. One has 4 hours. Okay, so 1 hour and 4 hours. One's risking $12. One's risking $18. One can make 84. One can make 228. Well, you can pick this trade, but this one gives you 3 more hours to be right, only risking $6 additional dollars. Okay, your whole margin on the trade there, and the reward potential is $228. So you could be giving up literally $150 by just picking the wrong spread. Okay, but that's why I made the scanner, because I needed a quick way. So I go in here, I just put in my little parameters to filter it down. It takes all the spreads and filters it down, and then I just click boom, sell. Ticket opens, I place my trade. So, but you have to have this break-even distance is important, and that also helps you when you put in deviation levels, because then you have profit target levels. Okay, you have to know where you expect the market to go. And to go ahead and move on here real quick. So, profit target. Are they realistic and objective, and are they based on price levels? Are they based on how much you want the market to move, or how much you want to make? All right, and this is something I want you to think about. This is something I think people miss on Nadex. Probably huge. A $5 risk with a $95 profit potential is really appealing. You're going to see that a lot on Nadex. Probably the worst trades, honestly, that you can do most of the time. Okay, there's a lot better trade setups because again, the expectation of movement. But that doesn't make it a bad trade. All right, let me show you something. Think about it. A 300% return on investment is also a really good trade. I mean, would everybody agree with that? If you can make 300% on a trade, does that sound good? Anybody in here, I'm sure, would not complain about making, $30 when they risk 10. Okay? Well, think about this. If you make $1,500 on $500, that's a 300% return. If you make $15 on $5, that's also a 300% return. Okay? All you did was you did 100 contracts instead of 1. Okay? And you can go in there and check it out. Yeah, we teach all this stuff. So if you go in here, but you go in and literally 300% return. So take your profit at $15. Don't wait for it to get to $95. And it can help you. So yeah, one of the things, somebody said that if somebody charging at $500 to teach what Nadex doesn't, honestly, we teach pretty much all of that for free. Okay, we teach gap trading, we teach premium collection. All of it's out there for free. So we have it. Okay. So just come on over to our website, and we won't be charging you a whole bunch for it. And I think you'll like the videos. We get a lot of good feedback. But big thing on this: don't be greedy. Okay, $5, $15 is the same as 500, 1,500. So don't think I need to make 95 on 5. Okay, that's going for, think about it. That's going for a 1,900% return. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I've had it happen. Okay, but 300% on a consistent basis is great, and you can easily get in at 5 and get out at 15 as the market moves, or get out at 20. So just think about taking advantage of this and how it can work for you. And yeah, I definitely do scale out of plays. I'll go in and I do what's called a profit popper and a trend catcher. So and on my profit poppers, I'll get in and get out pretty quick, sort of to remove my risk, and then I'll have my trend catchers where I'm layering them in, and then I actually scale in too. So I add in. Yeah, the tax accounting is very easy. It's 1099Bs. So, and so just have those objective expectations. And then so on binaries, you're going to choose strikes with a probable distance. Okay, so something like the deviation levels. Set that level target. Learn to read what's called the price ladder in Nadex. And we go over this. We went over this in our last webinars. And I show you how to look at the price ladder to determine what will the binary be worth if the market moves up or down, say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, strikes, whatever. Learn how to calculate risk and reward. It's not hard. It's really easy. But also, we show you how to do that, and we have the tool that does it for you. Enter the trade, and when the trade's filled, immediately, number one rule, I'd write this one down, okay? You want a big takeaway that'll help you make more money on Nadex? Immediately set your take profit order the second you get in. If you don't know what that order should be at, you shouldn't be entering the trade. If you don't know where you want to get out, you should not be getting in, okay? So always do that. On the bull spreads, calculate your break-even distance. You can use our scanner to do that. It makes it a lot easier. Set the price target level, enter the trade, and set your advanced take profit order as well. Also, if you're looking for, and I'm not going to go into the detail, but if you're trying to figure out how to get live data on Nadex for the underlying market, okay, because like they can't show the other exchanges because they're an exchange, just log into our forum. And by the way, you use the same username and password you used to log into the free site there. And down here under data feeds and brokers, you'll see the links to get access to free futures data, free platforms, free forex data, free platforms, all that stuff. Okay. So we have a lot of cool deals in here. We don't make anything off of them, okay, literally. So we just send you their way, and but it's a way for you to get access to that data. So yeah, this is all being recorded. So and then, but again, I can't stress enough: set your advanced take profit orders and know where you want to get out. And check out the deviation levels. I mean, just look at the last week of charts, pull them up this week, and like I said, they ought to be very, very helpful for you. So tax accounting was, yes, easy, 1099B, 60/40 tax treatment because they're futures. I'm not an accountant, therefore don't hold me to that, but check out tradersaccounting.com or whatever. But yeah, they're futures, okay? So they're futures exchange regulated by the CFTC. And then let's see here. So quick summary for you, because I know I got to wrap up here. Set profit targets for binary options and use them when selecting strikes. Set profit targets on bull spreads. Look through those steps for entering and exiting a trade, okay? And make sure you take into your risk and reward consideration. Don't just look at max profit. Worst thing you can do is look at max profit. Look at expected profit. And always set your orders. So, oh, this is a great question that just came up by Keith. Is Nadex offering better profits or worse than overseas brokers giving $75 or $89 on 100, if correct? Okay, yes. I have a whole video in here about the bucket shops, because that's what you're talking about, okay, is the bucket shops overseas. And I go into why Nadex binaries. So you definitely probably want to watch that one right now. If you've been looking at any other binary company besides Nadex or IG owns Nadex, several $100 million, huge publicly traded company on the FTSE. And I go, literally, this whole video is about the 10 things to look out for in a broker. But Nadex, I mean, you can get 1,900% return. You can get 1-to-1 return. You can get 300-400% return. Those other brokers are talking about 80%. Okay, never 1-to-1, like 0.8, 0.7. All right, so they make 75% return sound great, but that means if you lose 100. If you make money, you make 75. So they're totally scamming you. Okay, by the way, if I refer you to one of those brokers, they'll give me 20% of your money the second you fund it. So how much confidence does that give you that they think you're going to make money? A couple other things. If you go in there and you trade with them and you accept one of their bonuses, as they call it, like they'll give you, if you put in 10 grand, they'll give you 10 grand. Until you've traded at least, and it's different on the broker, but on average 20 times the account. So if you put in 10 grand, you have to have $200,000 in trades. If you put in, $1,000, you have to have $20,000 in trades before they'll let you pull out your original deposit. So if you've only made one trade, but you accepted the bonus, and you want to take your money out, you can't on the overseas brokers. So be really careful. Check out IG, check out Nadex, check out this video. I go into the whole spiel of what to watch out for. But those are just a couple of things. Also, they don't have price ladders. They have like buy sell, like the bucket shops over there. But again, they're buy sell. They're not, I can't buy out of the money. So therefore, that's one of the reasons why I can't make, a good return on the trades. And I don't believe there's algo trading Nadex right now, and because they're mainly focused on the retail trader. So, and I mean, we have our signal service, but that's not exactly an algo, obviously. We do have a fixed data feed. We actually are working on right now putting in some other tools where you can trade directly from charts like NinjaTrader and stuff like that. So like these are our charts, and if we go on, and we're actually building a whole Nadex tool built into it. Right now, we're actually building the binary scanner. Right now, we have the Nadex spread scanner already built, and the binary scanner is underway. So it's going to be literally full blast as soon as we're wrapping up a couple things, getting the fixed data feeds, all the fun stuff set up, and then also we're setting all these deviation levels to plot directly into Ninja. So that way you can use them for futures, Forex, Nadex, and we're also going to expand it out. It'll work on like 3,800 stocks and 40 futures and all that. But right now we're focusing on the Nadex markets. So as soon as that's feeding into Ninja, then we'll add that in. We're already on Ninja on a lot of stuff. So for the deviation levels, there is a tool that you can use inside Ninja. We have our own Renko bars that actually time the Renko bars, weight the Renko bars, and tell you what size to make the Renko bars. And then you can go in here, and we have one of the indicators we have is the Apex power levels. And let's see here, there it is. And so you can actually go in and you can just literally type in the price, and you can save your defaults. So that way it'll easily let you put the information in. So I can like load, then I just put deviation levels and hit apply, and it'll fill it in for me. So it makes it really easy. Let's see here. Nadex derivative charts are not the same as CME futures charts. So it's a great question. Yeah, they are not the same. So they're based on the derivative. They're based on the spread itself. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you do have. Now here is a substitute for you, and I can't really show you since Nadex isn't open. Let's see. Where do I work here? Yeah. Okay. They just have the spot locks in here. But if you go in, see this little chart button on the master spreads. Okay. The master spread will be usually almost exactly on par with the underlying market. So you can use that, but you want to use live charts. And I can show you how to get free data, free platform for the underlying market, so that way you're not paying you're talking $300 a month. So just hop on the forum over there and you can get access to that. Let's see here. All right, so got the warning bell about to wrap up. I want to see if there's anything else. So price ladder means like you have like 20 different strikes versus just one strike. So up or down, it would be one strike. Price ladder means like 20 strikes. And all I'm doing now is just going through. I'm sure I missed some questions because there's some good stuff here. It's like Dan already keeping up with it. Awesome.
All right, great.
That.
Thank you, Darrell. Outstanding job as usual. And again, remember, what we're going to do. There's lots of great interest from what Dan and Darrell talked about with Nadex. And so what we're going to try to do is on Monday morning have a live trading session that you guys are welcome to join us at. All you have to do is I put a link in there, but if you can email if you open a live or demo account, at least open a demo account so you can kind of take part and understand what we're doing there. But get your account open. It takes about 3 minutes, and then send an email to support@tradingpub.com. We'll get you some additional educational resources for trading Nadex, and also Darrell's got some videos that we can send you that hopefully will help you as you get started. So just be sure to send us an email. You can either forward your account confirmation, or you can just send us an email and put Nadex in the subject line. But Monday at 8:30 Central to about 10 o'clock, we'll do some live trading and kind of show you some of these things in a live market. But we appreciate you guys being here. And at this time, I'm going to transition to our next speaker. We've got Marcus from Rockwell Trading. Marcus has been by the Tradingpub. I think this is his third time being by the Tradingpub, and has done some educational posts for us as well. He's going to talk about using Fibonacci in futures trading. And so, Marcus, at this time, I'll turn things over to you.